Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. So I wanted to talk about a few things. There's been a bunch of ideas, or I guess just like things that I've been hearing, just online and just through fans and stuff like that, that I've just been kind of wanting to give some thoughts on. Like, for one, people really think that Daryl sailed on a small little boat like that from America to France. So I just really want to talk about that. I want to talk about Dead City's episode 2 ratings and a few other things. So obviously, before we go any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my walking content like this. And also, if you haven't followed me on Twitch yet, my channel name is Appetite for the Dead. I will be live there later on today. So definitely go give me a follow. I'm so excited for Dead City this week. Like, episode 2 was just, it ended in a way where I'm so hyped for where they're going to go, because I really want them to get inside the arena, and I want the Croat to react to the fact that Negan is actually there in New York City, right? Because he doesn't know yet, he ran into the marshal at the very end there and he's about to find out, but he doesn't know yet. So this is something that I'm just, based off of episode 2's ending as well. Like, the Croats people are probably going to tell the Croat and be like, so we ran into this guy who was just really crazy or whatever. And based off of that info and then what the marshal says and stuff, like, it's basically going to confirm to him that, yeah, Negan is on the island here. And I just can't wait to see what happens at that point, because it really does seem like the Croat really doesn't know, or he's not expecting it. So I'm interested in where they're going to be going here. The show's just so exciting. Honestly, it's so fun to watch. And speaking of excitement, the ratings seem to have increased a little bit. Now, I don't know if this is going to change with other ratings coming in, I guess, tomorrow. Like, tomorrow, I do believe there's going to be some more numbers coming in, because Hollywood Reporter last week reported everything on Wednesday. It's Tuesday right now, but I did see some numbers here on Wikipedia. It does say that the premiere was watched by 0.704 million, which is obviously just US viewers. That's just on cable. That has nothing to do with watching the next day or anything like that. Like, that's basically the same night. So that is 0.704, and then episode 2 is 0.706. So there's a slight increase there, but I do wonder if, once we get the other numbers for episode 2, if there is actually a bigger increase. I mean, personally, for me, it doesn't even matter. Like, I mentioned it before, but like, premieres usually do very strong. Like, premieres are usually like the big episode where people will go and watch it because they're just excited to see just their characters again. They're excited to see not even just the characters if you know that the show or it's returning for a new season, but say it's a new show. Like, usually premieres just start off very strong, but as you move on to each episode, usually for the most part, at least from what I've seen, the numbers slightly drop, or not even slightly. Like, for example, episode 1 had 0.704. I was expecting episode 2 to probably have about 0.6, like 0.61 something, 0.6, just like a drop like that. But no, the number is actually much higher there. And so to me, that just says that like episode 1 actually kept people around watching. Like, people actually want to watch more. So I really like that. I think that's honestly super awesome, because that's very promising for the spinoffs here. And I do believe, based off of these numbers here, based off of the online reaction, it's not even just online reaction. Honestly, it's just reaction in general from a lot of people. Like, there's just this really cool excitement for this show. And I've actually seen a lot of people talking about this just like outside of like the online community. Just in the real world, I'll see commercials or I'll see random things pop up like on in a movie theater. There'll be a commercial there for Dead City, or there'll be like that one cover that they have. Like, that's kind of cool. Like, it's actually kind of cool to see that around, and that marketing did work. Like, it's actually getting people more interested in the story again, because I've always said with The Walking Dead, the characters are awesome. Like, the characters are so good. There's so much potential there, but it's just, they have had an issue with the budget. Like, the budget, I think, really has hurt the show over the years, and they've done the most they could with it. But if you're looking at the Daryl Dixon teaser, and we'll talk about that in a second, but you look at that and then you just look at how good Dead City's doing, like, this franchise is just doing amazing right now, and I'm so excited. So yeah, we'll see where it goes for episode 3. Obviously, I'll talk about it again in a video next week, and we'll just sort of follow what this does. I do think for sure we are getting a season 2, so hopefully the story keeps up. And that's the thing, like, if the story is really good, if the reason you're doing this show is because you want to tell good stories and not just make a lot of money, then the ratings, you don't really have to follow them so much, because the viewership will stay. Like, the viewers will stay and watch because they actually like the story. So that's kind of what we need to see right now. So we'll just wait and see if that's what they end up doing here. But I'm really excited. I wasn't expecting this sort of response to the spinoffs. I mean, to be honest, I was kind of thinking that like maybe the spinoffs would have an equal reaction to the final season. but I just wasn't sure. Like, for the Rick and Michonne show, I was pretty confident. That show was going to be big. But for Dead City and for the Daryl Dixon show, I was like, we'll have to just wait and see. Like, I have no idea, because people love to watch for Rick. Rick hasn't been on the show for a while. You know, it's been like almost 5 years. So I guess that should have told me that, well, people do watch for the other characters as well. But yeah, this is just, it's kind of cool to see, to be honest. So yeah, I'm definitely really excited about that. But the other thing I wanted to talk about was a topic that I have just been sort of seeing online everywhere, and that is regarding The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon. So it seems like a lot of people believe that Daryl is just going to be on this small boat here, because obviously in the trailer we saw that Daryl's on a small boat. Somehow I guess he was knocked out, or he fell asleep or something. I don't know. I guess people just think that, I don't know what it is, but people are ignoring the fact that he's tied to the boat. And so the assumption is that he was just on the boat and he sailed across. And like, that's how we got to France. Like, that makes no sense. They've already said before that they will be explaining how he gets to France. It's going to be something that Daryl is wondering about because he doesn't know. Like, it's going to make sense. It's going to be something like he ran into the wrong people and then obviously they sent him there. But it's not going to be in the sense that it was just like this random group of people that just like got into this whole thing with Daryl and then sort of just sent him on this small boat and then he ended up in France. I do believe he'd be a part of like a bigger ship or like a helicopter or something like the CRM. It would be something like that. That was very, very massive. You gotta remember, at the end of World Beyond, a show about the CRM, we saw that there was a slight connection there with something happening in Ohio. They've mentioned, the Commonwealth has mentioned that they've had ties or whatever to the CRM, or not the CRM specifically, but they've mentioned that there's other people that they know. And I really do believe it is the CRM. I don't know why the show never wanted to go there, but I do believe that is what it was. Because the Daryl Dixon show, in the latest teaser, we saw him actually go to that same, like, I don't want to say laboratory, but kind of felt like it. It's just that room there where we saw, the Jenner, I guess, just on that laptop. Like, there's a reason they're going there. There's a reason the story is here. I do believe it is CRM related, for sure. I do believe that there is a connection. It's going to be slightly different, I think, for the story, but there's something there. And I do believe it's really just as simple as they got Daryl and then they just like sort of flew across, but somehow Daryl was just like kept out the entire time. And then once they got to shore, they just tied him onto a boat and, they wanted him to live for some weird reason. And then he just sort of ends up on shore eventually. Like, it's likely going to be something like that. And I just, to me, people thinking like, well, no, he just ends up getting there. Like, I can't believe like you actually believe that that's what they're going to do. Like, they would never, ever do that. That'd be so crazy. Daryl was taken there and he wasn't willing to go there. And he obviously wakes up there and he's so confused as to why he's here. Like, he's wondering, why am I here? How did I get here? I'm so far away. If anything, this is very exciting because you do have to think of the realism to all of this, right? Like, how would he get there? There's no way he was just put on a boat and then he just sailed across all the way. You would actually have to, like, there's no way. So just to think of how it happened is kind of exciting, especially, when you consider the fact that Carol is also going to be going to France, right? Likely for season 2 or maybe the season 1 finale, right? So it's exciting. I really can't wait to see how this show, explains a lot of it. I do believe it's going to be explained in season 1, especially because Carol's going to be there in season 2. So whatever the reasoning is here, Daryl's going to learn everything. And then obviously when he sees Carol's going to be like, well, I got here like this and that. And it's going to be explained like that. I do think it's going to be pretty simple. I am fascinated in the story, though. Like, there's going to be some stuff about it that is different, definitely. But there could be connections to the CRM. I just don't know how much. Like, that's my question here. How much are they connected to the Civic Republic? I'm just going to say probably not a lot. But I don't know. Based off of those walkers and just some of the information going around, there's obviously other things at play here, right? So it's not going to be so disconnected like Dead City, though I could see Dead City getting into some CRM stuff in the future. There's going to be some stuff here at the Daryl Dixon show. It's not going to be exactly what Rick and Michonne are dealing with because they're dealing with them directly, but there might be some stuff here that does hint at that, and Daryl might learn that, oh, this is the community that took Rick. So this is likely where Rick is right now, right? But he just has no way to get there. He just, there might be a lot more there. So I'm interested in what we learn. But Comic-Con is in less than a month now. So we're going to learn a bunch of stuff then. So I'm so hyped for that. I really cannot wait. But yeah, I guess post your thoughts down below. There was one thing that I did want to give some thoughts on, but I guess I'll do a whole video on that because I do kind of want to talk about that a little bit more instead of talking about it for just a couple minutes. And that was the fact that The Walking Dead actually planned for Maggie and Negan to be on the main show for like 4 seasons or after season 11. So that means The Walking Dead would go to season 15. Like, that's just insane. I have so many thoughts on that, but I'll do a video on that separately from this. So anyways, post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.